So the book we're going to talk about today had me really thinking about our evolution as a human, of how we grow and what shapes us and how we form and what we eventually morph into, and how I believe that's very important for us. The book we're going to talk about today is called Chrysalis or Chrysalis. It's by Anna Metcalfe. This is a random book that I picked up at the library. I kind of like the cover. I don't know if you can tell, there's like a human inside there. Normally it'd be a butterfly, but sometimes, the human is the butterfly. So we should all at some point grow and evolve and become a better version of ourselves, at least that we're trying to be. In this book, the writing blew me away. It's very eloquent and beautiful and lyrical. It's just describing everyday things such as working out at the gym or just like the simplicities and things in life. And it follows the story of the main character and what she goes through and how she evolves and grows and becomes what she is in the present time. The book is broken up into like 3 different sections, and you have these 3 different people and their view of her and how they see her. The first one is this guy, Elliot. He sees her at the gym and she just gives off this aura of confidence and like knowing who she is, and all of this stuff kind of falls for her and just how he views her. I would say he has her up on this pedestal of being like the most amazing person ever. And so it goes through the time that they spend together and what happens and how she slowly opens up to him and all of that, and tells what happened to her and like what's in her past, which it's not so good what happened to her. She went through some crap. Then the next part of the book is getting into the relationship with her and her mother, like from when she was a child, growing up with her mom as a single mother, and like, the animosity and what happens in these mother-daughter relationships and how that worked and how that shaped and formed her. And then you see it through the lens of the mother, and then also through how the daughter interacts with her, and you get this totally different impression of the daughter, because you're like, oh, as teenagers are, because as someone who's gone through being a teenager and interacting with my mother, we butted heads quite a bit. You see that and you see the interaction. I thought it was portrayed really great. The stuff she went through as she was a kid and coming up through school and then, college and moving on from there. And then the last part is one of her old work colleagues, because she used to was a lawyer at this law firm, eventually ends up leaving that job and quitting because of the situation she was in that was pretty terrible, and breaks free of that. And then this is like where she like evolves into herself to find what she wants to do and be, and the person who kind of helped her when she needed someone really badly to like get out of the situation that she was in, and how that person viewed her as well. And it was just really thought-provoking and interesting, and just made me kind of contemplate that, just like the whole thought of how we evolve over time and what changes, and thinking about how I've changed over the years. And I'm sure, like, if you take a look at yourself too, from how you've changed from when you were a teenager up through adulthood and all that, the things that you used to be interested in that are not important anymore. And some of it will still be important, I'm sure, whether it's people in your life or certain interests that you have a talent for, but just like stuff that mattered in high school that just doesn't matter now, and then stuff in your life like finding your sense of self and all that. And I thought it was a great book, and it really kind of displayed it well, because at first you're like, oh, this woman is amazing, and then you're like, oh, she's just got flaws like the rest of us. So it was a really great book, and I can't overstate how well and like beautiful it was written. The words were they just draw you in and paint this picture. It's like that sometimes you get those authors that they just paint you this beautiful picture of everything, even in the mundane and the simple things, and it's just very enchanting. So I thought this book was fantastic. Anna Metcalfe, this is their debut novel. They have other short stories and stuff, but they've never wrote a book before, and this is a fantastic debut. I would highly recommend it. I love finding new authors that I enjoy reading so much, and so I can't wait to see what this one does in the future. So if you had fun hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.